we have to start with actual news. And this bomb of an attack on President Trump. It was a joke. I'm sorry, it was a joke. And take it from me, I've done thousands of like exposés on people or covered them or Me Too stories. This is a nothing burger. It's an absolute nothing burger. I laughed when I saw it. The big shock piece the Journal's been working on that's gotten all this buzz amongst journos in the days leading up to it is that Trump allegedly, he denies it and is now suing over this allegation, in 2003 wrote Jeffrey Epstein a letter as part of a group of letters that came from people like Alan Dershowitz and many others for Jeffrey's 50th birthday party. And the big sin of the letter is that it apparently appears in the sketch of a woman's body. The implication is that Trump drew it, and then it's signed Donald. So he drew a woman with breasts in like a figure and with a marker. And then inside, want us to believe that Donald Trump wrote the following. Okay. They said, here we go. Hold on. Voiceover. He allegedly writes the words voiceover. There must be more to life than having everything. Donald, he's like a script. Yes, there is. But I won't tell you what it is, Jeffrey, nor will I, since I also know what it is. Donald, we have certain things in common, Jeffrey. Jeffrey, yes, we do, come to think of it. Donald, enigmas never age. Have you noticed that? Jeffrey, as a matter of fact, it was clear to me the last time I saw you. Donald, a pal is a wonderful thing. Happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful secret. That's it. It's like
it's terrible dialogue, and it does not sound like Donald J. Trump. I mean, several things. The fact that that is allegedly typewritten, that note, it feels to me the way like in any crime story, you know a suicide is a murder if the suicide note is typewritten, right?
That's true.
Secondly, why did the Journal not reprint the actual document?
Totally.
Like, I want to
That's
see
the first thing I look
physical
for.
document, right? Because who has a more distinctive signature than Donald Trump? Mm-hmm. His signature looks like skyscrapers.
It's totally.
So you know, and thirdly, I just don't believe it. To me, it feels like, remember when the Mueller report was finally published and Rachel Maddow took to the airwaves for an hour to self-soothe and convince herself and her viewers that there must be something in it? We got to find it. It's just there. You can't, it all just feels like, again, you and your guests have said it many times over the past week or so. If there was a smoking gun involving Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein, we would have known it by now.
Mm-hmm. That's right. We wouldn't be waiting for the Wall Street Journal to break it mid President Trump's second term as president. It's absurd. So we don't know whether even the Journal has seen the original letter. We know that they say they've seen documents. They said Maxwell collected all these letters for this birthday gift Epstein got in 2003, put it in a birthday album. They say, according to documents reviewed by the Wall Street Journal. Well, which documents? Have you seen the letter? Trump's team is saying they did not hand the letter over to Team Trump when they went to him for comment. So it's unclear whether the Journal has laid eyes on the actual alleged letter. But I have to say, and Trump says this is fake, and people online are doing a word search amongst everything Donald Trump has ever said. And apparently they haven't found like any uses of the word enigma. I guess it's not one of his favorites. Not like China. So I have no idea whether it's real. Trump is mad enough saying it's fake, and it sounds fake. It does sound fake to me. It doesn't sound like anything that Donald Trump has ever said or written. But I almost don't care. It's like, to me, this could be, if it really does exist, because it could be a fake that somebody put into a document to make them look bad after the fact. Or if it was actually in this book or whatever it is, it could just be Trump said, look, this is what happens with Abby, my assistant, and me a lot. They want you to submit a quote about so-and-so into some, retrospective. These are the 3 they've proposed for you. And it's like, okay, I'll take number 1, right? It's like sometimes you're just trying to do somebody a solid. You're like, okay, that sounds good. Let's go with that. I'll guarantee you, if this is actually Trump's participation, which he denies, it's that. Like, Ghislaine wrote this thing up for you to sign. Is it cool? Everybody's doing like a body funny thing, and this was the one she had for you. And Trump, the celebrity, was like, fine, I don't care, and maybe doesn't remember it, or genuinely it could be a total fake. Either way, I don't care because it said nothing burger. It's a bawdy, stupid letter that is totally meaningless. This is not it's Trump with a 12-year-old, which is really where the Dems were going with this.
I love this theory. And, I love how these conversations happen in silos. So we're all theorizing, or supposedly theorizing, about Donald Trump and the authenticity of said letter. And does this go to a larger collusion with Jeffrey Epstein in the abuse of young girls? And Bill Clinton's name never comes up. Bill Clinton was on the flight logs as well. And, they're apparently, allegedly, depending on who you talk to, sightings on the island, who knows? But the other thing about this, Megyn, that I love is people online trying to figure out if the wording matches up with anything Donald Trump has said or written in the many decades we've known him. And we're more sophisticated now with AI. It reminds me, remember when Primary Colors came out and it was anonymously written, and it was the inside scoop on the scandalous, behind the scenes goings on with the Clintons. And within like a week, Drudge had it was Joe Klein, and some professor shot it through a computer, and it did like a matchup of words, and they nailed him first try.
That's incredible. I forgot that. No, I didn't. Well, it's like, look, I'm sure Trump has used the word enigma here or there, but it's like people are parsing this. And people I know who know President Trump very well say this is, by the way, like if Trump's going to write something, he's going to write it himself. He's not going to typewrite anything out. He might dictate a note and then sign it. But like this doesn't have the sort of fingerprints of the normal Donald Trump note at all. The most, like, Trump has sent me many notes over the years, many. And 99% of the time, it's a newspaper article about him or me that he wants me to see. And he signs it in that Donald Trump, sort of straight up and down, like you say, skyscraper signature. No one having submitted a alleged draft of what this fake drawn woman looks like. Phil Holloway, attorney and frequent guest of the Megyn Kelly Show, submitted this last night on X, which I got a genuine kick out of. It's and he writes, they finally got him. It looks like what a 3-year-old would draw with a stick figure of a woman with just 2 circles for the boobs. And then this very elementary DJT at the bottom. This is where our minds have to go, Maureen, because there's no proof. There's no proof that he wrote anything at all. Who past 1971 is using a typewriter? Who? Yeah, Donald Trump is taking the time to typewrite. Secondly, he does not strike me as a doodler, let alone a sketch artist. Apparently he doesn't seem the type. Apparently he doodles, but to your point, you're going to find this interesting. He, like, everything he doodles, all the doodles that, sometimes they ask you as a public figure for a doodle. And honestly, I'm like a 13-year-old girl with mine. Mine are all like hearts upside down and right side up and sideways and connected. He doodles the skyline of Manhattan. There are pictures online now of like when they've asked Donald Trump for some of his doodles. Every single time there's one. Every single time it's a skyline of Manhattan. So I don't think he really is a doodler when it comes to, and by the way, his statement says, he writes, I never wrote a picture in my life. I don't draw pictures of women. It's not my language. It's not my words, which is interesting. Like if you find a doodle of hearts arranged in a kaleidoscope type design, and then you see Megyn Kelly in the middle, it might be mine. It might be mine. But he knows his doodles, and they're of the Manhattan skyline. And he's saying, I don't doodle pictures of women, and it's not my language or my words. In any event, back to my original point, which is who gives a shit? Even if it were Trump, it says nothing. I guess we're going with the fact that he says, may every day be another wonderful secret. And the suggestion is what? Trump was totally in on the fact that at that point, Jeffrey Epstein was a serial abuser. Okay. He was one of the only ones who knew in 2003 because the charges weren't brought against him until 2006. And it was an explosive piece of news when it hit the public airwaves.
Agreed. Just to get back to the art for a second, again, like those skyscrapers make total sense to me. Trump does not strike me as an abstract artist. He doesn't strike me as an abstract thinker. He thinks in very concrete, linear terms.
I
just don't see him like Matisse, trying to make some sort of female figure. And secondly, it's all sort of meant to suggest that he was in on the trafficking and the grooming and the using and all of that. And I just think if you want to approach this thing logically, Trump is nothing but a self-preservationist. He gets one whiff of what's going on with Jeffrey Epstein and that sweetheart deal, and he's keeping his distance.
Since President Trump was sworn in, his administration has made enormous progress at a breakneck pace. But don't forget, while they're moving mountains for the good of the nation, you've got your own personal savings to worry about. And one of the best ways to look after your savings is through diversification, particularly with gold, like from Birch Gold Group. In the past 12 months, the value of gold has increased by 40%. OMG. Central banks continue to bolster demand for gold by buying in record quantities. Global instability and tension is high, and Birch Gold makes owning physical gold extremely easy. Easily convert an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in physical gold, or buy some to store in your home safe. Just text MK to the number 989898 and Birch Gold will send you a free info kit on gold. There's no obligation, just useful information. With an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau and tens of thousands of happy customers, take control of your savings today. Text MK to the number 989898. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.